Most people think elections are shaped by candidates, by speeches, debates, and campaign messaging, by what voters see and decide in real time. But something else enters the process much earlier, before most people are even paying attention, before narratives fully form in public view. Money arrives first and changes everything. Not just how campaigns operate, but what becomes visible in the first place. Because money doesn't just support a message, it amplifies it, repeats it, pushes it into the center of attention. And recently, a new type of money entered. Not just traditional donors or political networks, but money tied to emerging technology industries, crypto money, AI money, moving into elections with a clear purpose. That matters because these industries are not neutral. They are shaping the future in real time, and they are now entering the system that shapes policy. Which means elections are becoming the front line, not just for political power, but for technological influence. In the 2026 primaries, that shift became much more visible, especially in key state-level races. Illinois became one of the clearest examples, where outside money surged into the system, at levels that were difficult to ignore. Millions of dollars were spent, not quietly, but aggressively, targeting specific candidates and outcomes. Some of that money was tied to crypto interests, some tied to artificial intelligence interests, both trying to influence what comes next. Because regulation is coming, and whoever is in power will shape it. That creates urgency, not just to participate in politics, but to influence it before rules are finalized. And elections become the entry point, where influence can be established early. This changes how we should look at campaigns, because what appears organic is often supported by something behind it. More ads, more exposure, more repetition across platforms. That creates a perception of momentum, even before voters fully understand the landscape. Candidates backed by large outside spending can appear stronger and more viable simply because they are more visible. And visibility becomes a form of power, not earned directly from voters, but built through amplification. That's where the system becomes harder to see, because nothing looks obviously broken. There are still candidates, still debates, still voting. But underneath that, there is a layer of influence shaping everything. A layer driven by funding, strategy, and long-term positioning. Because for industries like crypto and AI, this is not just about one election. It's about shaping the environment they will operate in for years to come. And that means influencing who gets elected before policy decisions are even written. That's why early spending matters so much, because it happens before most people are engaged, before narratives are challenged, before scrutiny fully arrives. And even when that spending doesn't fully succeed, it still reveals the strategy. It shows where influence is being attempted and how the system is evolving. Because early attempts are rarely perfect, but they are rarely the last attempt. If anything, they are the beginning of something much more refined over time, which means future elections could look different, more targeted, more strategic, more influenced by emerging industries, and most people may not notice the shift immediately because the surface still looks the same. Campaigns still run, votes are still cast, winners are still declared, but the process that shapes those outcomes may already be changing. That's the part most people don't see. By the time a candidate feels familiar or a race feels defined, much of that visibility may already be engineered. Not entirely, but enough to influence perception, and perception influences decisions. So the real question isn't just whether crypto and AI money entered elections, it's how far that influence goes next, and what happens when the industries shaping the future decide they cannot wait for politics to catch up. Because once that connection is fully established between technology and political influence, the system doesn't just change once, it keeps evolving. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button right now, and don't forget the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Hit that like button so this video actually reaches more people. Drop a comment below and tell me what stood out to you, or what you want me to test next. And share this with someone who needs to see it before they scroll past. Because the more this spreads, the harder it becomes to ignore what's really going on. Are you ready for the next truth test? Let's go!